Admiral's Log, March 1st, 1909. As the harsh winter begins to yield to the promise of spring, the strategic landscape of our naval engagements has undergone a monumental shift. The advent of our Europa-class dreadnoughts has not only revolutionized our naval capabilities, but also played a pivotal role in sculpting a favorable peace treaty with Austria-Hungary. The Europa, the flagship of this new class, has emerged as a symbol of our resurgent naval strength and a harbinger of a new era in Soviet maritime dominance. However, this triumph is tempered by the resurgence of an old adversary. The Japanese, who have been quietly rebuilding their naval forces since our last conflict, have now cast their gaze towards our waters once again. Seizing upon our preoccupation with Austria-Hungary, they have declared war, reigniting a rivalry that has smoldered since our previous encounters. Tonight, the eve of a major naval engagement, a palpable tension hangs in the air. A relatively small Russian task force, emboldened yet cautious, is poised to confront almost the entire Japanese Navy. The memories of our past war with Japan linger in our minds, a silent reminder of the formidable challenge that lies ahead. The upcoming battle is a David versus Goliath scenario, with our forces significantly outnumbered. Yet, there is a steely resolve in the hearts of our sailors and commanders. The Russian Navy, no stranger to adversity, is prepared to face this daunting challenge with courage and determination. This confrontation is more than a mere battle for supremacy at sea. It is a test of our strategic ingenuity, our tactical acumen, and the sheer resilience of our naval forces. The stakes are high, and the outcome of this clash will not only determine the immediate course of this new war, but also have far-reaching implications for the balance of naval power in the region. As I pen this log, the weight of history rests upon our shoulders. The Russian Navy, bolstered by the might of the Europa class, but mindful of the lessons from our past, stands ready to engage in a battle that will demand every ounce of our skill and valor. We sail into the unknown, under the shadow of a formidable foe, yet with the light of hope and resolve guiding our way. For it is in moments like these that the true spirit of the Russian Navy is forged, in the fires of conflict and the crucible of war.
Hey guys, Stealth here, welcome to episode 10. The Japanese are back, with an enormous fleet. I've been prodding the Japanese in the Sea of Japan a bit, and they kinda got ticked off. So what they did was send, well, everything. Well, it's not everything, but it sure is a lot. What they did not send is enough battleships. So that could very well be my advantage. I have 2, they have 1. Beyond that, it just becomes heavy cruisers, light cruisers, and it goes downhill from there. So what I'm hoping is that with my small guns, I'll be able to take out the torpedo boats. With my big guns, I'll be able to take out the battleship. And with the, let's say the battleships after that, take out the heavy cruisers, and then there are secondaries come into play and deal with everything else. Potentially giving me something in the range of 20 to 30, maybe 40,000 victory points in one battle. Let's fight. This battle has the potential to turn into one big mess. So what I've done is have the battleships together in one div, have the heavy cruisers together in a second div, and then have everything else except for one destroyer in the other div. One destroyer is already falling back because it seems to have come into the battle a little bruised, so I'm going to save that ship and send it back to port. Now the enemy battleship, let's have a look. It's one of the older ones. This is what they call a battleship. The Austro-Hungarians put a 9.5-inch gun on it and call it a heavy cruiser, but it doesn't really hold a candle to the new Sviatoy Yakov. With its 11-inch guns, with its 8-inch guns, the issue is we only see the big things. We don't see the small things yet. But soon we might not see the small things because, or we might not see the big things because of the small things. So let's hope we can still eliminate the battleship. It is the priority when it comes to victory points, but from a safety point of view, the smaller stuff is far more dangerous. Especially considering the Japanese probably have some pretty decent tech, and as they do, their torpedo threat might be worse than that of Austria-Hungary. Right now I'm just seeing 3.3, there's another 3.3. 2.0, 3.3, yeah. So about the 3-kilometer range is where these guys tend to get scary. Let's try and stay outside of that. My fleet looks a little scattered. Yeah, okay. So small stuff first. Don't sweat the small things. Is what they normally say. In this case, we are going to sweat the small things, and then we'll take out the big things after. The battleship has to survive. Both of them. The Sviatoi and Chesma. Chesma has fought a lot in the past. It's one of the OG battle hotels, and all of her 4-inch casemates are going to have plenty of targets to pick from. So hopefully, they will not fail me right now. It is going to be playing whack-a-mole a little bit. Look at the numbers here. This is not scary at all. The good news is, we are, well, we're not surrounded, but it is kind of the point where you go, point your gun in any direction, and you might find that you accidentally, or not so accidentally, do hit something. So that's what I'm going for. Damage, damage, damage. Torpedo boats, destroyers. It doesn't really matter what you hit, so long as you try and remove a threat in the form of, well, anything that has a torpedo launcher. As for my torpedo launchers, they're still really bad. They're only a kilometer. Maybe some of the new cruisers. Yeah, the Darius has 1.5. And that's pretty much as good as it's going to get. So we're going to have to try and fight and make sure that everybody stays outside of, well, preferably mutual torpedo range. Because I am far more likely to end up in their torpedo range than they are in mine. Considering the ranges. Zvonky group. Don't care for the heavy cruiser. Care for the Shimushi over here, which is already flooding. What the hell are you targeting? Why over there? Let's go for this. That battleship any threat? What are you even targeting? You're targeting my battleship. Where are you now? Well, you're not penning that. You're more likely to pen the Sviatoi. Alright. Yeah, we can take out these two together. That's nice. Ooh, that is doing a ton of damage. That's dead. We took out the Shimushi. We got 3 heavy cruisers coming at me. But interestingly, they're mostly targeting the battleship. There's another something that went down. Yeah, once you get these new ships, it just starts to go downhill for the enemy. Doesn't matter if they're Japanese, Chinese, Austro-Hungarian, Italian. Not that I'm fighting the Chinese at the moment, but I believe it's only going to be a matter of time. Because they did invite me to a friendly alliance at the expense of a mere, I don't know, 50 to 60 million. And I said, no, thank you very much. That's not something I want to do. I'm gonna detach the light cruisers and shit, because this is getting a little annoying. Start targeting this. Let's see if we can save Zvonky. Maybe Zvonky and Gromky, because that is a pretty badly bruised ship. Bruised ships is fine. Dead ships is not fine, because dead ships really cost you a lot of victory points. And more than just victory points. It costs you repairs, or well, replacement cost. Which tends to be a heck of a lot more. Now, detaching these 5 ships does mean I'm splitting my firepower, but I don't want to have them this close. And I was concerned that because the battleships were targeting the heavy cruisers were targeting the battleship, it seemed like all the DDs were at massive risk here. It looks a little better right now. Yeah, we're still going to try and rejoin. If only the AI would actually rush me, that would be so much more dangerous, but they're simply not doing it. It's 5 times it, because there's not that much really going on. He said that, and all of a sudden everything else spawns in. Because now suddenly they're visible. Battleship status. Taking 2.7k down, it's probably the DDs. Yeah. There was that one DD. He's Kushny. Okay. Light cruiser Tsugaru taking a lot of damage here. We got the Hirado behind it. It's just a massive DD fleet, really. It just happens to be led by a battleship. But the battleship, well, it's kind of a joke. I don't find it to be a threat. I'm really appreciative right now of the speed of the escorts. The light cruiser and the DDs can rush up at 26 knots. They're currently doing 25. My main task force is doing about 18. So very quickly they'll be able to rejoin, lend a hand, and push more firepower onto the enemy. So we're going to have these guys follow the heavy cruisers. For mostly the reason that it makes my management easier. But follow. What? Okay, I guess they simply don't want to follow? That's weird. They won't screen either. Well, fine. We'll just have to maneuver them around manually. These torpedo boats are dwindling. Numbers are going down quick. Sakawa class light cruiser, or light cruiser called Sakawa, 24 million. Is that expensive? So my heavy cruiser more expensive. Yeah. No, actually my my CAs are cheaper. At 13.5 million. It's really quite the bargain. And they might not be the most efficient. Darius over here, but she's done a whole bunch of damage. Like, she's delivered. Okay, battleships. We're now going to target the battleship. And put your secondaries to use on, well, like anything else. Ooh, juicy. Oh, crap. Secondaries like over there. Can we pen this guy? Nah, not that well. Then again, that's not exactly what these ships are designed to do. Yeah, blocked. Need to call the numbers first and then push in with the smaller ships. Although... that was pretty destructive. That was the Moshun taking a couple of 11-inch and really suffering from it as it went right through the main belt. Alright. So this means the majority of their firepower is gone. Their battleship is dead. Long live their battle... No, not long live their battleship. What a management mess this is. I think they were, to some extent, following the battleship, and now they might not know where to go. Light group. Smoke up. We're in a pretty decent position to cover more than just the own fleet, or just the own ships. I mean, there's slaughter, isn't it? Takasago down. Now the question is, what do I want to do when when the Japanese immediately panic and sue for peace? Do I want to go along with that? I'm not sure if the Japanese really have a whole lot of territory that I currently want. Because I'm not that interested in investing a whole bunch in this particular area. I mean, if I can take out the Japanese altogether, sure. But that would require substantial resources that I currently either don't have or am unwilling to send. Because you'd have to send ships from Europe over just to get the tonnage required to do a naval invasion, if I can even do a naval invasion. I I think a peace might not be a bad idea. Because I'm fighting the Italians and the Japanese right now. I don't want to chew off absolutely everything right now. There's a lot of torpedoes in the water. Let's turn them to avoidance. You're gonna get hit. Dud. Perfect. We'll stop. Jasma, don't follow in. Because you will find yourself on the receiving end of a couple of torpedoes. Okay, now we're going to speed up again. I did venture far too close to these torpedo boats. And DDs. Okay, it looks like we're a little better now. Jeez, that's a lot of damage. Sashio's gone. Karatsu's gone. Shiranui is gone. Mikanami's gone. Bloody hell. There's still supposedly a heavy cruiser task force somewhere in the back. But I don't believe I've seen them for a while. Secondaries on this, please. Light them up. Flash fires, abort the Nyodo. There's the heavy cruiser group. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Thankfully, that did seem to have come out of dead ships. Like dead boats, so I don't have to worry about more torps coming from there. 5-1. Crap. Okay, threat analysis. You're loading. No, you just launched. And what exactly was it that you targeted? The leader. Okay, we're gonna do the reverse trick. Sviatoy can handle that. Chasma cannot. Chasma is using the Steam 3 expansion engine. Sviatoy, multiple expansion engine 2. Perhaps that's making our engines a bit more resilient. My DDs and shit have all panicked. Because, oh my god, there's a torpedo in the water. Like, they have some sort of magical torpedo resistance. They can handle it. Switch to the Kari. I'm gonna get rid of these, and then the heavy cruisers. I don't really have to sink everything. I mean, it'd be great. But it's not something I strictly have to focus on. Because I'm delivering an absolute kicking to the Japanese Navy. They're gonna be really hard-pressed to recover from this. Send the heavy cruisers in a little more aggressively. Oh, Jesus, what happened to you, Darius? You're taking a lot of hits. That heavy cruiser's going down. Yeah, she's gone. That's unfortunate. Got hit by a 10-inch, what, from a heavy? Yeah, maybe. What happened, Darius? 1800 damage for a 4.9-inch gun? I know I didn't... Oh. I was gonna say, I know I didn't armor these things that well, but not that badly. Yeah, I did. Mikhail, do you have a meeting with the Ariake or something? What are you doing? There's another CL. Oh boy. Panic mode. Turn, dude. Turn! No? Okay. Okay. I was wondering if this was also going to work in the campaign, and it seems like it does. If you're reversing, the AI does not know where to target a torpedo. So, if the Oboro, for example, wants to target me, they're probably going to launch there, because they expect me to go there. Which naturally is not where I will be, because I'm reversing, I'm going that way. But the game doesn't care. The torpedoes will still kind of tend to sail in the direction where the game is expecting you to eventually end up. Which is weird. And I've seen comments about this bug feature, but I didn't know it would actually work this well. I did use it recently in the Frankenstein video, where I took one really odd battleship up against a whole task force of destroyers, like 20 of them. And if you just sail in reverse, they don't have a clue what to do about you. Like, not any single thought. What do I do with this? They just send where you normally sail, and they don't care. They just don't care where the ship actually ends up being. Why are we targeting the only ship that's inside of a smokescreen? Shall we not? Hey, we're running low on 25. Yeah, it's HE. Sakawa, dead. There's heavy cruiser Shiroma. And that is that heavy cruiser group. Come back here. Follow the BBs. We need to withdraw anybody? I need to actually withdraw the whole task force. Don't go in there. You're loading. No, you're not loading. You're out of torps. Oboro isn't. Kari is potentially more dangerous because she still has multiple torpedo launchers ready. Okay. There it is. That is not where I'm going, Tachibana. Absolutely not where I'm going. Okay. Target the heavy. Secondaries on this. How about you just join the battleships? Should we do that? Tachibana is gone. That was the thing that was over there. Then we got the light group here targeting the Oboro. Come on, you should be able to finish that thing off in like, what, 2 shots? Just that your accuracy is awful. 3%? At 400 meter range inside of a smokescreen. 300 meter range. I really was expecting a lot better than this. Mikhail is lost, I guess? Mikhail... Oh, you got a dead rudder. Yeah, that would explain it. Heavy cruiser, melting. Excellent. Sounded like it was painful. Heavy cruiser, is that expensive? 19 mil. Not terribly so. The Europa is more expensive than that. Europa's far more expensive. 58 million. Shiroma taking on a lot of water. Only flooding in a minute or two. Oh boy. That's bad news. Dead rudder. Oh. What happened to you, dude? You got hit by torpedoes. Not even from the Kari? Izyaslav, get the hell out of here. You might be salvageable, but you're gonna have to leave right now. With whatever speed you got left. Target this. Yeah, we're just gonna wrap up here. Now, I call this a productive day. I scored 43 ships. I believe there's 1 survivor? Two survivors. So they sent in 45 ships and 43 were not coming home. This means 59,000 victory points for the Soviet Union. At the expense of 1 heavy cruiser, the Darius. The rest of the ships? Well, damaged, but alive. And they came out very well. So, what is this going to mean for the Japanese war? I think they might want to reconsider their life choices. Because considering the way that these guys just got completely hammered, I think they're going to sue for peace right away. Do I want it? I don't think so. They haven't conquered any provinces. Let's fight to the end. Whatever the end is of our choosing. It's going to be a little pricey probably to fix my ships up. In the meanwhile, as I'm going to be doing that, I'm also still taking down transports. And as the Japanese just lost a lot of their naval presence, I think it's going to be a lot harder for them to get some power projection done in the Sea of Japan, in the Sea of Okhotsk, and Northeast Asia. They still don't seem to have anything in the Philippine Sea, nor in East Asia, which means that potentially, by sinking a bunch of transports, I can thwart / torpedo, if you will, the Japanese Empire's economy. They still have 16 ships. They really did send almost everything. They took a massive beating. They're building another 27, they're repairing 8, so there is more naval cap there, but look at that tonnage. 46,000. That's all versus my 380,000. So that was a fight well fought and a lot of victory points. Now, just as my attention was on the Asia front, it is the Italians who decide to make a move against my task force led by Europa. I'm going to leave you with this fight in the preview for the next episode, because this is going to be a big one. There's a lot of cruisers about, there's a couple of torpedo boats about, and a bunch of destroyers. So this will take me a while. I'm going to have the Europa take point yet again. She and her escorts are going to have a tough fight ahead, but we've seen Europa, she's proven herself before. We just haven't tested them against the Italians. So, join me next time as we fight the Italians. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, and I'll see you soon for more.